south of Waterloo, now approaching Cross Hill. As it continues moving to the east at about 35 miles an hour, here's the county line. We're looking at this crossing over the county line. It's 312 now. Crossing over the county line probably at about 317, 318. And there is a lot of lightning associated with it. So again, with the tornado warning that's in effect, and let me show you what we've got. Let's see, they got another update on here. Yeah, so $half size hail. Let's take a look at the hail product just so you have an idea of the hail that's being indicated. This is the interpretation so far. Just crossing over 221, it's showing about nickel, maybe dime size hail for now, but according to the data that's coming through, we may have up to quarter size, which is golf ball, or higher to $half, which is larger than ping pong size hail. And that's going to be heading to about 1.5 inches to 1.75 inches as it heads towards east. Notice that we have 2 tornado warnings here, and one is for our Newberry County residents. This is the one that's basically the west central, north central portions of Newberry County until 3:45. There's another tornado warning. This is on the back end here. This tornado warning goes until 3:30. This is specifically for Lawrence and Greenwood counties. But the reason why I'm emphasizing that is that when we take a look at velocity of where it is, this is where the circulation is. And let's put a loop on that to see if it is truly moving to the east. So here's the line, and it's moving a little bit more to the east-northeast. So I'm going to correct the track on that, and I'm going to put the track right about here. So let's put it as it crosses all the way over 76 and Interstate 286. So again, Mud Lick 322, Bush River 333, probably somewhere in the area of Highway 76, all the way down to Newberry, the city of Newberry, between 340 and 347, and then should be crossing over Interstate 26 just to the east of, well, let's put Joanna in there. Joanna probably around 336, and then crossing over I-26 east of that, heading towards Beth Eden, probably the tune of around 350. Now, it is 3:14 in the afternoon. You know that we've got several schools in the area right now. All of them have gotten the warnings of the tornado warning. Again, it is a tornado warning. We have not gotten confirmation that this tornado warning has actually produced a tornado. But earlier, we did have confirmation when this was well west that there was a tornado that was confirmed as it crossed over just north of Greenwood between 178 and 221. So let me put the what this looks like over the last 45 minutes. So it kept on moving east, crossed over the split of 25 and 178 in Greenwood County. Now it's starting to move a little bit more to the east-northeast. The one thing that we look at, and again, this is a broad circulation, but we're watching very carefully to see what the National Weather Service says. Whenever we look at the structure of velocity, we look at how the winds are spinning around. Red is heading towards, is heading away. Green is heading, and this is the circulation that we're looking at. This is where it puts it. Here's Mud Lick. This is probably only about maybe 2 miles, and it's moving to the northeast. So Mud Lick, just be aware that where it is located is pretty close to you right now. You're going to be experiencing at least 40, 45 mile an hour winds if it does not track towards your area. But again, the loop and its direction of where the winds are showing indicate that it is moving a little bit more east, northeast, as opposed to straight east. But nevertheless, if you're in Mud Lick, if you're anywhere from Mud Lick heading north to the county line of Newberry, go ahead. You should be taking your tornado precautions right now because this is heading in your direction. Again, tornado warning has been issued for the city of Newberry. And just give you an idea of what we have. First off, we've got this tornado watch. And let me get rid of this. We've got a tornado watch that's in effect right now for all of our Midlands communities. This is a tornado watch that's in effect now, and it goes until 7 o'clock tonight. Tornado warning still continues. It's now located over Cross Hill. Okay, and then as far as the tornado warnings, the only warning we have right now as far as tornado warnings is the one for Newberry County, This one will continue until 3:45. This is the only Midlands County that we have a tornado warning on. Now, there still is tornado warnings in Lawrence and Greenwood, in particular on the central western portions of Greenwood County. But these storms are from the original storms that produce the tornado warning that we have currently right now. Here are the storms that we're looking at, and this is from, in fact, I'm going to switch over to the Columbia radar instead. If you notice, this is where the circulation right now, the tornado warned storm is, right over Cross Hill. On reflectivity, which is basically looking at any kind of rain, it does not look that organized, but here is a big concern. You see how there's this little notch? This little notch, this is an inflow notch. What we have here is air that's being pulled into the circulation of the storm. This is the one that's tornado warned right now in central Greenwood County. So this is another one that we have to watch. This is heading towards, if it continues its track, the next county in line would very likely be Saluda County, the western side of Saluda County, and the southwestern portions of Newberry County. Switching over to our velocity to see exactly what I'm talking about, here is the circulations we're looking at. Here's the one that is for Newberry County. Here's the other one that is in Greenwood County that may be affecting Saluda. Again, the National Weather Center is going to continue this tornado warning, and let me just move this over here. Winds or no winds, this thing is putting down a lot of rainfall, but more importantly, a ton of lightning. Well over 200 lightning strikes involve the entire cell that's heading towards Newberry County at this point. So here's the again, the location that we are watching very carefully. This is now getting pretty close to the areas of, and the reason why you see the colors change, I'm using the radar out of Greenwood, out of Greenville, because at least it shows me a little bit more color interpretation. So here's the storm as it's moving. And again, the track moves it a little bit more to the east, northeast, and the one good thing, at least I could say from the way it's showing, is that it is starting to move a little bit further to the north than east. But the other thing, keep in mind, is that the winds are very strong with this, and I don't want anybody to assume that even though we're not seeing anything at all, the winds are not that bad, because according to our velocity right now, it's showing that the wind speeds are, let's see, in the tune, wind speeds right now are showing in the tune of 45 to 55 miles an hour. Now, it is not very organized, which is a great thing. So we continue to watch, and again, it's moving a little bit more to the east, northeast. So Mud Lake, you should already be in your tornado precautions right now. If you live in a home, you should be in the center portions of your home. If you live in a mobile home, it is too late right now to do anything. So get into the center of your home, or if you have a ditch, get into the lowest level of your ditch and cover your head until the winds pass through. If you're in Bush River, if you live in Joanna or south of Joanna along 76, all the way down past Mid-Carolina High, over in the city of Newberry, the split of 776 heading towards I-26, city of Newberry, Boyd, this entire area, we've got the tornado warning until 3:45. You should already be taking your tornado precautions. If you live in a home, the reason why I tell you to stay in the center of your home is that you want to put as many walls around you from the outside. So if the center of your home is your bathroom, it's your kitchen pantry, it's your storage closet, that's where you should be right now. Now, we are streaming, we have this right now on News 19 on television, as well as over the air if you got rabbit ears. If you're on Facebook, we're on Facebook Live on our Facebook page, WLTX.com. So make sure that if you know anybody who lives in the entire central and northern half of Newberry County, that they are paying attention right now and listening to us both on air and on Facebook Live, as well as on TV as this continues. This is a storm that we're watching right now. Again, the favorable thing is that it does not look very organized. When I look from the radar in Greenville, Here's the center of circulation. It is not very organized, which at least is a good thing that we do not have a confirmed tornado, because from what the National Weather Service continues to say is that this is a tornado-warned storm. It's a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. It has not indicated that there is a tornado here. It is a radar-indicated tornado, meaning that there is the potential of this producing a tornado, but we do not have a confirmation of a tornado. Nevertheless, the key things about this is that as it continues to move, you could see that there is an incredible amount of lightning associated with this storm. Just in the Newberry County side alone, we've got about 27 lightning strikes. So it is definitely something that you are not supposed to be outside on. As far as the rainfall has been coming down very hard, but as this moves into your area, we're talking about crossing over the county line of anywhere from 1.5 to 2.5 inch rainfall rate per hour. And there is your line of heavy rainfall. So you're not going to be able to see anything if there's a tornado that's developing out of this, because it is pouring so hard right now. And with the winds whipping the rain around, if there's a tornado here, it's going to be rain wrap, meaning that you're going to see absolutely nothing but the rain. You're going to hear the winds, and that's about it. You're not going to physically be able to see the tornado. Here's a notch. Again, we always look for any kind of kinks or notches, because whenever we see a notch, that means that we've got inflow winds that are being sucked into the circulation. Think of it when you flush the toilet. You see the water spin all the way down, and it spins counterclockwise. This is exactly what we're seeing. We're seeing a counterclockwise spin, and as it does, there's an inflow of air that gets sucked right into that area, and that provides enough fuel for the spinning of the circulation to continue. So we see that very obviously on velocity, where there's a lot of wind coming in out of one direction and a lot of wind coming out of another direction, but it is not a very tight circulation, which is meaning that we do not have a confirmed tornado out of yet. One thing that we look at, and I won't go through the semantics of it, but we look at something called correlation coefficient. All these colors don't mean a single solitary thing, unless if we actually had a tornado where all the circulation is somewhere in this area, we would see a very contrast difference in colors. Well, in our correlation coefficient, we've got a lot of red, we've got a lot of purple, we've got a lot of orange. If we started seeing a little bit of blue, light blue, a very, very distinct color differential, that's where we can confirm we have a tornado, when we do not have that as of yet. Again, there is the possibility of hail, but the good news is that according to the hail dimensions, the hail is not really that much of a factor as of yet. But still, this storm does have a capability of producing up to $half size hail. So that's over an inch hail. So just be aware of that. Again, the National Weather Service is continuing the tornado warning. And this is the only tornado warning we have right now. And these are the storms that are moving through. Now, we do have a new severe thunderstorm warning that is just getting issued. So if you bear with me just 1 second, I will pull that up. They have not pulled it up yet. So let me clear this up here. This new severe thunderstorm warning covers Saluda County, central, southern, and western Newberry counties. And let me pull this up right here. So here's our new severe thunderstorm warning. This is severe thunderstorm warning until 4:15. It's moving 60 miles an hour and has the capability of $half size hail. It is not this storm. It is this storm. Again, this is the one that we were talking about, where I've been watching that little bit of an inflow notch. Now, to begin with, and I don't know why they have not pulled it up yet, so bear with me while I wait for more information from the National Weather Service. And there's tornado warning storm to Newberry. Okay, so National Weather Service is watching the Newberry tornado, and it's weakening. So we'll get to that in a minute. First, let's cover this storm. This is the storm that we're watching that's moving to the east at 35 miles an hour. Folks, if you live in anywhere really in western portions of Newberry and Saluda counties, this is what we're looking at. Over 200 lightning strikes that it's all moving to the east, northeast at about 35 miles an hour. So just be aware that this is one very mean looking storm. Let me get rid of all of this lightning and show you where this storm is going. Let's see, this one is moving a little more east. So let me put a track on this one. Is this definitely Saluda and southern Newberry counties? You want to be definitely on the watch for this because it is moving at 35 miles an hour. So it is not that fast, but in the intensity that it has, it's going to be a rough storm. Okay, so this is what we're looking at. Callison, that's going to be, I believe that's going to be Edgefield County, 328. Kursky, 334. Cambridge, 328. Now getting into Saluda County. Eulala, 342. Higgins, 350. The city of Saluda, 353. Denny at 355. And Mount Willing, 401. Here's the motion of the storm. And I'm just putting it on a 15-minute loop. This is what we're watching, and I have no doubt that the winds are pretty strong on this one. We'll first take a look at velocity, and yeah, those winds. You see that inflow notch there, folks? Just over 96. That is the concern that we're watching right now because the winds all around in this area are 50 to 60 mile an hour wind gusts associated with it. And all of that is heading straight east as opposed to the Newberry tornado warning. So all of this that is just to the west of the county line in Saluda, all this is making your way. So pretty much from Columbia Highway all the way up north, you're going to have to watch this very carefully. Again, we're going to go back to the tornado warning. The National Weather Service says that it is weakening. So that is a good thing, but nevertheless, even with a weakening on this storm, it is still a very strong storm that is still tornado warned. Here's a tornado warning until 3:45. Here's a storm right now from Mud Lake all the way up to south of Joanna. All this is continuing to move as a tornado warning storm, but keep in mind, it has not indicated that there is a tornado and it is weakening. So let me draw a different track on this. If we continue this for another let's say 20 minutes since it expires at 3:45. Again, anywhere from Silver Street all the way north to Bush River, everything from Mud Lake east, and then everything along I-26 from Beth Eden all the way down to north of Prosperity. You should be taking your tornado precautions. Whether there's a tornado or not, there is very strong winds associated with it. So Bush River, you're looking at pretty much right now. Jalapa, 338, the city of Newberry, 341, and then north up in Beth Eden, you're looking at 342. We now have a new severe thunderstorm warning that has been issued. And remember, I told you that there were storms down here that was not part of that Saluda storm. Well, we've got a new one. This covers now Lexington County. Lexington, Saluda, and Edgefield County. This is a storm right now. The National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm warning until 4 o'clock for this storm. It's got the capability of 60 mile an hour winds and $half size hail. So folks, if you have a car, bring it inside. If you have a carport, put it under the carport now, because even though we haven't seen $half size hail, you're talking about $half size hail that's going to dent the heck out of your car, and you're talking about 60 mile an hour winds that are going to throw stuff all over the place. So here's a storm that is issued. Again, this is for eastern Saluda and central, northern, and west central portions of Lexington County. The storm is moving to the east at 30 miles an hour. It does have quite a bit of lightning on the back end of it, but just be aware that the lightning is not the big issue. The issue is going to be the winds. Let me put a track on this one. Again, it's moving to the east at 30 miles an hour. So unfortunately, if you live anywhere along number 1, Batesburg, Leesville, Gilbert, you should already be inside right now, and do not stand outside and wait for this thing to come by, because this is an ugly tracking storm. Batesburg, Leesville, it's on top of you now. Gilbert, 342. Elise, 347. Red Bank, 338. And let me throw a caution to the wind right now. If you live anywhere along 378 all the way to downtown Lexington, anywhere on number 1 from downtown Lexington all the way down to, I'd say conservatively, right around the entrance towards BL, and the high school, and then everything south along I-20. And I would say right now, if you live anywhere south of I-20 to Emmanuel Church, all the way over to the bus barns in South Congaree, get inside now, because this is moving. Although it's moving 35 miles an hour, there is no doubt indication of very strong winds that are moving this way. The amount of strong winds right now are basically from the western side of Saluda County along number 1 and points north. So it's definitely getting through the areas around 178 or Fairview Road and number 1. And this is the area that is severe warned right now. Let me put a loop on this to see if it's truly moving to the east. And it looks like it's moving a little bit more northeast. So let me amend my original statement. If you live anywhere along number 1 from BL through Gilbert all the way up until the area of Red Bank, go inside now and stay away from windows or doors. Even though it's only moving 30 to 35 miles an hour, it looks like it's tracking along number 1. Even if it dips a little bit further east, you're still talking about from Batesburg, Leesville, all the way to Gilbert and Red Bank, where you're going to be affected by this. If it's not going to be the wind, it's going to be the rain. If it's not going to be the rain, it's going to be the lightning. And as far as the rainfall is concerned, we don't have any flash flood warnings right now, but we are definitely watching as this pours down a lot of rainfall. And we're talking around I'd say this is 3 inches. Yep, 3 inches of rainfall. So anywhere from the Lexington-Saluda County line along number 1 all the way up to Lake Murray, you're talking about 3 inches of rainfall. Now, going back over to Newberry, the National Weather Service has just updated another warning. So let's go up to that. And that's right here. Let me get rid of this. Okay. All right. Let me quickly show what we've got. We continue the tornado warning for Newberry County. This is from Whitmire down 176 all the way down to the Pomeria exit of 126 and Pomeria Prosperity all the way across downtown Newberry and then to the western side. This continues until 3:45. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning, and this one is the one that I talked about maybe 5 minutes ago that we need to watch carefully. Severe thunderstorm warning has been issued by the National Weather Service on this particular storm that is over by Silver Street. It has got 70-mile-an-hour winds and ping-pong size hail. Okay, folks, that's ping-pong size hail in association with this. That is very dangerous size hail and 70 miles an hour. If you ever saw any of the videos from the severe weather that central Oklahoma got, this would have been on Friday. All of that hail was coming down, was bouncing off the ground. And with the 70, 80 mile an hour winds, instead of the hail coming straight down, the hail was coming sideways. That's going to break windows. That's going to break home windows, car windows. So you definitely do not want to be outside on this. We're watching this very carefully as well because it's moving to the east now at 50 miles an hour. So this thing is accelerating very quickly. So you do not have that much time. So let me just put a very broad stroke information on this, folks. If you live in the county of Newberry, anywhere in the county of Newberry right now, it doesn't matter whether you're in Mud Lake all the way out to Pomeria, take your tornado precautions right now, get inside. If you know anybody who's driving, tell them to get into a store until this passes over, because this has definitely got noticeable winds. And you see how now the colors are starting to get brighter, especially on the red side? This is part of that tornado warning, but this is also now the way it's starting to elongate. This is also part of the potential of a tornado warning. In fact, I'm going to stick myself out on a limb right now, folks. If you live in Longshore, if you live in the city of Newberry, go ahead and take your tornado precautions right now, because this is moving at 70 miles an hour. And what I'm watching is right here. I've got a circulation over here. This is part of the severe thunderstorm warning that the National Weather Service has issued. So if you live in downtown Newberry, if you live anywhere north of Newberry past Mid Carolina High School, along 121, the split of 395, Highway 395 that heads out of town, take your tornado precautions right now. This is the area. This is the area that I am watching very carefully, how it is spinning around. This circulation is starting to get a little bit tight. This is the southern end, or the western end rather, of the new severe thunderstorm warning that covers the rest of Newberry County. This is what we're watching right now, and let me get you the specifics on the timing. Let's see, it's moving east. Folks, it's moving east at 50 miles an hour. So I'm just going to put that line right here, and over the next 20 minutes, that's going to be, oops, that didn't do it. Let me get that back. Sorry about that. This is a storm that we've got to watch very carefully because it is definitely tightening up, and I do not like it when I see storms that start to tighten up a little bit more, because again, it's moving at 50 miles an hour. So here is the storm. Here's the line. Helena, now. Newberry, 2 minutes. Boyd, 3:45. Prosperity, that's going to be at 3:47. The reason why these times are a lot ahead of where the storm is because it not only is it moving at 50 miles an hour, but the storm itself is starting to, no, I don't like the way that looks. It's starting to bulge or bow out. Whenever we see storms that start to bulge out like this, okay, first we were talking about how down in the area of Chapels, how this little notch, this is an inflow notch where we see winds being pulled in. This one is different. Whenever we see, here's a little bit of a bow, but whenever we see a bulging in the storm, that means that not only is it accelerating or moving faster in its forward motion, but the winds associated with it are starting to strengthen quite a bit. So let us just go ahead right now, folks, and if you live anywhere in Newberry County, even though that Newberry County, the southern end of Newberry County is under severe thunderstorm warning. The northern half of Newberry County is under a tornado warning until 3:45. Let's just treat this as an entire warning of get inside, get off the road, stay indoors, put as many walls around you, and do not look out the windows or doors, because if the debris that's spraying around is not going to destroy the windows, the hail might. If the hail doesn't, the winds are going to be pressing along strong enough. Let's see. National Weather Service is indicating that they may not cancel the tornado warning in Newberry County. So let me do this real quick. I'm covering everybody here, folks. So if you are wondering, well, how come you're talking about it now? Here's why. Here is the tornado warning that we have in Newberry County. Here is the current storm that we have in Newberry County. You are still under a tornado warning until 3:45. The National Weather Service is indicated that with this storm that may expire in about 5 minutes, they may continue it. So notice this covers a good portion of eastern and northern Newberry County. Here's a storm right now that is still in western portions of Newberry County. There is the likelihood that they're going to continue this tornado warning. And okay, we have a new one that's coming out now. So all of Newberry, heads up right now. Get indoors, get inside. We have a new tornado warning. This is now for Lexington County. Again, a new tornado warning. This is going to be for Lexington County. Daggone it, I talked about it before, and there it is. I was talking about how I did not like how these winds were spinning as it was coming out of Batesburg, Leesville. We now have a tornado warning for Lexington County. Again, this is a new tornado warning for Lexington County. This is a storm that we are watching right now. Here's a tornado warning. Guys, if you can update that on the bottom here and include both Newberry and Lexington County, or at least put Lexington County up. This is the storm right now in Lexington County. If you live anywhere along and east of Batesburg, Leesville, from BL all the way up number 1, this includes downtown Lexington. I'll say it again. Downtown Lexington, the split of number 1 and 378. Go from Lexington all the way down Red Bank. So pretty much this entire area from downtown Lexington to Red Bank, just west of South Congaree. Put it all the way down to, say, Macedon, Edmond Highway number 6. This entire area, we have a tornado warning. Lexington County, the tornado warning for you. Thank you for telling that. My producer, Michael, is telling me that until 4:15. So here's the tornado warning for Lexington. This goes until 4:15. So we've got at least half an hour. National Weather Service has indicated this is a radar indicated storm with 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and potential hail, potential quarter size to ping pong size hail. And no doubt, we're showing already signals of at least 1-inch size hail. That's going to be just to the west of Gilbert by about 2 miles. Let me put this back up. Here's the tornado warning. And if you bear with me, I will get you the track on that. Let me just see which way it's going. This is moving pretty much east. Folks, if you live in Lexington County, take your tornado precautions immediately, because the way this is shaped, I do not like the way it's segmented. It's moving slow. It's moving to the east at 25 miles an hour. So let me get my bearing here of where I would put it. And here is pretty much, let's see, yep. Let's put it right here. So this is the area that we need to watch right now. If you're in Gilbert, you should be in your tornado precautions right now in the middle of your home. It's going to be moving towards at least 354. Downtown Lexington, again, that's the downtown Lexington split of number 1 and 378, right by Town Hall. And then Springdale, 425. So if you live right now conservatively, with this moving at 25 miles an hour, if you live anywhere along from the airport going all the way up to 378 Sunset Boulevard. Sunset Boulevard all the way past JD's car dealership and the split for number 1. If you live along number 1 from I-26 all the way to downtown, if you live anywhere in Lexington County along the Congaree River all the way down to South Congaree, Red Bank, Dumar Road, number 6, Macedon, along I-20. At this point, I'd say I-20 and the exit for number 6. Go ahead and take your tornado precautions. This storm is moving only 25 miles an hour. And here, okay, look, it looks very junky. I'm going to show you guys what I'm looking at specifically, because this is where we get to be concerned of where it is. I can't see where there's a circulation, but I know without a doubt that along number 1 all the way down to Gilbert, this entire area, there are very strong winds, and I'd be a monkey's uncle if this didn't start moving more north, more east. Remember when this was turning more to the east-northeast? Well, it looks like it's now stretching out and moving east. That's why I said if you're in downtown Lexington, even though the warning polygon is indicating that this could be anywhere from at least south of I-20 down number 6 all the way into south central portions of Lexington County. This is the area that we need to watch very carefully, because that is the area that we are concerned about the most. So again, Lexington County, you are currently under a tornado warning. This is in effect right now until 4:15. National Weather Service has indicated a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado and at least quarter-size hail, and it's moving slowly at 25 miles an hour. It should be right over Gilbert at this point, and trajectory puts it right over Gilbert. Again, at least you'll have about 5 minutes before it gets to you, and then downtown Lexington is around 4:10. Let me just throw some caution out here. If there is a tornado that's being produced, you are not going to be able to see this. There is so much rain. And if you ever heard the phrase a rain wrap tornado, that means there is so much rain that's coming down. The circulation of the mesocyclone or the tornado is just picking up all this rain and it's wrapping it like a blanket. You will not be able to see this if there's a tornado that is actually occurring. Nevertheless, you've got very strong gusty winds of at least 60 miles an hour. That is going to be a major issue. And if you haven't done that, if you haven't done this yet, if you live anywhere in the areas where we have this in the track, if you have anything that you can charge, charge now. If you have any battery operated stuff like your iPad, your tablet, your iPhone, your Android phone, start charging them now, because very likely these winds are going to start knocking out power on it. That's a good question, producers. Folks, this is why here at News 19 we want to make sure that everybody's aware, because I've got my executive producer constantly asking me on what's going on with the other storms, and that greatly helps. So the storm that we still have right now in Newberry County, this is what they did was now, and thank you, Michael, for asking me this, the warning we have, the tornado warning in Newberry County has now expired. They have not continued this. This still is a severe thunderstorm warning. So again, thank you, Michael. The National Weather Service has dropped the tornado warning for Newberry County, but still continues a severe thunderstorm warning for the southern half of Newberry County. So here's a storm right now, and this is a storm that we're watching very carefully as it continues to bow out. So the tornado warning that was in the north central portion of Newberry County is gone. The severe thunderstorm warning continues for the southern half of Newberry County. And it's already crossed over 26. It's now crossing over, let's see, that would be, I can't remember what highway that is. What is that? 121. So the split of 121 and 76, about, 4 miles northeast of Beth Eden. And then everything along 176 to Pomeria, and then west all the way down to Prosperity. Silver Street, you're dealing with a ridiculous amount of storms, but the intensity is nowhere near as bad as it's getting to Prosperity. And to take a look at the winds that are associated with this bowing out segment, here's a cell that we're watching very carefully to see if it actually spins up a tornado warning. But nevertheless, look at the wind profile from downtown Newberry along from the split of 776 and Highway 76 all the way down to Prosperity and everything west. You can see the winds. Silver Street right now is experiencing anywhere from 60 to 65 mile an hour wind gusts. South of the city of Newberry, you're talking about anywhere from 35 to 40 mile an hour wind gusts. Same thing west of Prosperity. All of this continues to move to the east, and let me make sure that it's still east. Yeah, you see how that starts to bulge out as it crosses over Silver Street? So that's the highest profile winds that we're going to be dealing with as it continues to move along through central and south central portions of Newberry County. Again, the big one right now still, we have a tornado warning that continues for Lexington County, and the position right now puts it in between, let's see, it's between 378 and, gosh, I'm trying to remember what road that is. I think that's Old Cherokee Road. It's going to be Old Cherokee Road and 378, and then all the way down to number 1. If you live anywhere from in Lexington and west side of the city of Lexington, from St. Paul's down the train tracks, all the way down number 1 until you get to that road, and I can't remember. Is it Priceville Road that runs north-south, and if you take it north all the way up, you hit the west-southern shores of Lake Murray. This entire area is the one that's under the gun right now. It continues to move slowly to the east at 25 miles an hour. You should already be taking your tornado precautions in Lexington County. Let's see. Okay. National Weather Service just gave an update on this. The winds are strong, not a lot of circulation, but here's the problem. When we look at the winds do not look that excessive. The winds are still very, very strong, pretty much 378 and number 1 all the way down to Elise. But what they're watching, and I have been noticing this without even looking at the hail product, I've noticed that there is definitely hail that's been growing out of this. Folks, I'm sorry, from Batesburg, Leesville to Gilbert, you guys probably already have gotten bushwhacked with a lot of hail, but there is notification that we're going to be experiencing at least nickel, possibly quarter-size hail as this continues to track as a tornado warning. Looking at the amount of lightning, there's not any lightning with this, folks. I've got 1 lightning strike 2 miles east of Gilbert, so the lightning is not going to be an issue. So if you don't hear any thunder outside, don't think you're out of the woods, especially if you were anywhere, let's see, Lexington Metal Group, Lexington Medical Group, if I can speak English, right around 378 Sunset Boulevard and I-20. Extend that all the way to Sunset Boulevard and I-26. I-26 all the way down into South Calgary. This is going to be by Old Dunbar Road and the bus barn at that split. This entire area from the airport 5 miles south, everything north 5 miles north. This entire area, you're not experiencing it yet, but take your tornado precautions right now. You are under that tornado warning. You are under that risk of this storm moving through, because here is the tornado warning that we still continue. That covers that southern sector of the western, southwestern sector of Lexington County. It cuts off before you get to downtown. This is the only tornado warning we have right now. But if you look at the profile of where the storm actually is, and notice I can barely see anything over here. It's too close to the radar. And the reason why is that the radar cannot pick up that close. Switch over just to give you an idea of why I want everybody in downtown Lexington to understand. I need to switch over to another radar. This is coming out of Greenville, so you can see very heavy rainfall and strong winds right now from Sunset Boulevard and 26 all the way down 26 until you get to the exit for 176, which, remember, serves me correctly, I think is exit 2 off of I-26. And then from that point, everything to the west, you're not experiencing it yet. All of this is heading your way, and put a small track on that. You can see how all of this is moving to the east. This is just precipitation. That's not the biggest concern. The hail is concerned, but also the winds associated with it. Here's the circulation right now. This is going to put, and I'm going to zoom in as close as I can right now, because this is moving at 25 miles an hour. So I don't like the way this looks. Folks, if you, and I'm going in really close, this is moving at 25 miles an hour. So it is moving slow. This is where the strongest winds are and where the potential tornado can occur. It doesn't look very organized right now, but nevertheless, you're talking about a ridiculous amount of winds that are in the tune of 60 to 70 mile an hour gust winds and hail associated with it. So if you live anywhere if you live anywhere on Sunset Boulevard from the split of number 1, take your tornado precautions right now, because this is heading your way. If you live anywhere along the line from downtown Columbia, go ahead and take your tornado precautions, because this is heading your way. Let's see, this is, why is that so small? Give me 1 minute, folks. I'll get this here. Okay, so here's the storm. This is what we're watching right now. This is the area that we're watching. So if you live anywhere in these areas from number 1 to 378, take your precautions right now. There's Bar Road. This is already affecting area from Ballpark Road and Hermitage Road. Going there across, this is a split over on Gibson Road. This is where the baseball fields are and the detention center. This is the area that's about to be affected. So if you live anywhere along number 1 and 378 into downtown Lexington, going down number 6, Bar Road, Gibson Road, this entire area, you're about to be affected within the next, let's say, let's see. It's moving at 25 miles an hour. So if it continues its track, it's going to be over Bar Road now. It should be coming over downtown Lexington in about another 2 minutes. So again, tornado warning continues for this storm right now. Let me clean this up and see what else we have. So we continue this tornado watch. This covers all of our Midland communities until 7 o'clock tonight. And this is all of our Midland communities. The tornado warning continues for the county of Lexington. This includes downtown Lexington. Let me get rid of the severe thunderstorm warning for just a moment. So this is the warning storm that we are watching right now that has been moving to the east and continuing to move east at about 25 miles an hour. So we're watching this storm right now. Lexington County, you should be under your tornado precautions already. Now, even though this warning only goes until 4:15 for another 20 minutes, and it's moving at 25 miles an hour, I want you to be aware that the way it's moving, there's no way to determine even if you are not under that warned cell, if you're not going to get impacted by the winds. We just got a spot report, and this is why it's very important. We can't see anything outside, and neither can the National Weather Service. One of the storm spotters that works with amateur radio and the National Weather Service has indicated we've had 2-inch size hail reported in Gilbert. Folks, 2-inch size hail. We're talking a little bit bigger, a little bit smaller than a tennis ball. That is going to hurt you very badly. So this storm with the tornado warning, don't go outside. Don't be near windows, because if we got 2-inch, and you remember I showed you on the computer guidance, it said 0.6. 0.6 is a big difference than 2 inches. And if we got reports of 2-inch hail, I'm telling you right now, I've experienced this more than 100 times in Oklahoma. A tennis ball size hail will go right through your windshield. So you do not want to be driving out in any of this. And keep in mind that this is a storm that continues to go. If you know anybody who's on the road right now, let them know that Red Bank, you're going to be affected about 405. West Columbia, 408. Downtown Columbia. Now, mind you, this is only for the areas of Lexington County. I'm giving you guys a heads up right now. So West Columbia and Columbia, right over the Riverwalk. This is going to be crossing over sometime around 408 to 415. Just be aware of that. You're not under a warning. Let me say again, West Columbia and Columbia, you're not under a warning. But I'm giving you a heads up of how this is moving. And as it continues to move, we're looking at Edmond, probably more like 415, South Congaree at 415, Dixiana on a 77 split at 431. Here's the storm again that we are watching, and as it continues to move, let me get rid of the lightning. Yes, there's lightning, and yes, there is a lot of rainfall involved in this, but the winds that we're looking right now are right over, practically coming right over downtown Lexington. So here's the circulation right now. Now, one thing that if you've been watching ever since we got on, I don't know, 35 minutes ago, that whenever we're looking at a storm, we try to look at the storm with two different colors, reds and greens, showing a circulation. There is no circulation organized enough to produce a tornado, which is a great thing. You think that that's not a problem. Well, there's number 6, number 1, 378, and we may not have a tornado on here, but if you can drive through 60 mile an hour wind gusts, well, more power to you. Bottom line, don't. This entire area from 378 and the split of number 6, all the way down number 6 to I-20, anywhere in this area, all the way across to Interstate 20 in Lexington, don't be outside. And let me make this an extremely strong statement. If you know anybody who's driving right now, let them know about this now, but do not, I say again, do not stop under a bridge or an overpass. Drive, get off the exit and get into some building. Get into a Circle K, get into a Kroger's, get into a store. Do not park under a bridge or an overpass, and here's why. These are 62 mile an hour winds. You take those winds that are just blowing around everywhere and you squeeze it into a little area. That 62 mile an hour winds now becomes 100 mile an hour winds. Your car is not going to sit under that overpass. Plus, you're going to be blocking traffic. If you know anybody who's driving right now, tell them, get off the road, get into a building, do not stop under an overpass. And wow, okay, that organization just got really interesting. That's a lot of color, folks. Let me see if I can clear that up a little bit more. Yep, the winds are accelerating. So the winds right now in downtown Lexington, 46, 37. These may be folded. Folded means that the winds are so strong that they're starting to flip on itself and we're not getting an accurate reading. But nevertheless, you're still talking about 60 mile an hour winds. So again, we're talking about Lexington. Now we have a new tornado, we have a new warning. And let me pull that up right now. National Weather Service has just issued a new, I believe it's a severe thunderstorm warning. Yep. So now we have one for Columbia. And here it is. National Weather Service has issued a severe thunderstorm warning for, let me pull this up here. This is going to be now for central, north central Lexington, west central, and west central Richland County. So here's the storm that's marching up. I told you, even though it says it's moving east, something told me it was moving straight up. It's moving along number 1 and I-20. This is the new severe thunderstorm warning. This is a severe thunderstorm warning capable of 60-mile-an-hour winds and 1-inch hail. So let me do this in one broad stroke. Tornado warning in Lexington is now canceled. So we can get rid of that at the bottom screen. We no longer have a tornado warning in Lexington County. We no longer have a tornado warning anywhere in the Midlands. The newest warning we have right now is the severe thunderstorm warning for Lexington County. And let me pull the stuff back here. So again, we no longer have a tornado warning. We no longer have a tornado warning anywhere in the Midlands. We now have a severe thunderstorm warning. This severe thunderstorm warning is until 4:30. This storm is moving to the northeast at 30 miles an hour, has a capability of 60-mile-an-hour winds and 1-inch hail. So 1-inch hail, folks, oh, I don't have change on me, is the size of a quarter. That's still going to do damage. Let's first take a look at the hail to make sure that we actually have it. And yikes, I don't like that. Okay, so let's zoom in real close here. This is probably closer to either number 34 or Long's Ponds. Yeah, a little bit more closer to Fairview Road. But nevertheless, here's the hail size being indicated. There's your 1-inch size hail. Remember, we saw Gilbert before where they were under severe, where they had the tornado warning, where the computer was only showing 0.6. We had reports in Gilbert of 2 inches. So this has a very good indication that we're going to have 1-inch hail associated with this storm. Here's the storm right now as it continues to move. Again, it is only a severe thunderstorm warning, but nevertheless, it's a severe thunderstorm warning. It's moving to the northeast at 30 miles an hour. So let me just pull this up here. Yep. Slide that over. If you live in Lexington, and let me just put this here right now. If you live anywhere in Lexington, from I-26 up in Irmo, Harbison Boulevard, all the way across until maybe, let's see, that would be Monticello Road. Anywhere Monticello Road all the way down to I-20. I-20, Eau Claire, Dentsville, Forest Acres, and then all the way across to the eastern portions of Columbia. So this is going to be the area not too far away from the WLTX station on Garner's Ferry. All the way down, this will be, what is that? That's going to be Sumter Highway all the way to I-77. So I-77 and points west along 378 Garner's Ferry Road. I-77 all the way down. This will be in the entire area of I-26 and I-77 in southern Columbia heading towards Carolina Eastman. And then across the river, I-26, Dunbar Road, South Congaree, Red Bank. This is the entire storm. Now, the reason why I'm looping this and not putting a track is, you see the way this is moving? It is moving at, again, this is the severe thunderstorm warning for Lexington, moving at 30 miles an hour. So here is the problem, folks. You see how all the rain is bunched up and it's all going in the same direction and following each other? Well, with that in mind, we may get a flash flood, warning out of this as it is, and you'll hear the phrase entrainment, because all that rainfall that's coming down right now is in the tune of probably 2 to 3 inches on the high end. So 1.5 to 2 inches of rainfall that is coming down in this line, and this is just the precipitation per hour. And if I run this just on a 15-minute loop, you can see how the rain is staying in the same location. So another issue that we're going to be dealing with is heavy rainfall. But again, the severe thunderstorm warning continues for Lexington County. This is a storm right now that is under the severe thunderstorm warning, moving northeast at 30 miles an hour, and this covers the entire area from Irmo, Harbison Boulevard, I-26, all the way up to Monticello Road to I-20 rather, I-20 all the way down into areas of Eau Claire, eastern Columbia, I-77 and the split of Garners Ferry Road, and then all the way through as you snake around I-77 to the split for Charleston Highway and 26, and then into Lexington from the airport, South Congaree, and everybody else west all the way to Gilbert and all the way up north into areas around Chapin. A new severe thunderstorm warning has been issued now, and this is going to be for Newberry, and it says Newberry, Richland, and Saluda. So let me first say for Saluda, this is the storm. You're already getting hammered by this storm, but this is the new severe thunderstorm warning. And let me get a track on this one. National Weather Service has issued this severe thunderstorm warning until 4:45 for southeastern Newberry, western, northwestern Lexington, extreme eastern Saluda County, and that means the entire eastern side of Saluda County. It's moving very quickly to the east at 45 miles an hour. This is going to have 60 mile an hour plus winds and ping pong size hail. 2 inches, tennis ball. 1.5 inches, a pool cue, a billiards ball. So be aware that this is moving, and let me check the speed of it. It is moving east at 45 miles an hour. And yep, look at the flow. It is moving straight east. So we're under the gun again, Lexington County. Lexington County, you are under 2 different severe thunderstorm warnings. And let me first put the newest one here. Again, this is moving at 45 miles an hour. So western Lexington County, everywhere from Batesburg, Leesville, all the way up to Chapin, you do not have a lot of time. This is moving very quickly, and here is, oops, well, let me adjust this in a minute. So here is the track. Here's where it's moving. So we're looking at Batesburg, Leesville. You're already in the middle of it again. Chapin, 422. Hint, if you live in Chapin right now, if you live anywhere on the east shores of Lake Murray, you have 5, maybe 10 minutes, no more than that. Tie down your boat, get out to the docks, tie it down now, get inside. 5 minutes. If you live in Chapin, if you live anywhere in that area and you have a boat dock, tie the boat down now. This is 60 mile an hour winds heading your way. Chapin, once we cross over I-26, it may proceed into Jennings, into Fairfield County by 450. But more importantly, for Lexington County, Chapin 422, Hilton 430. So we're talking about 3 Dog Road at probably about 420. White Rock 435, Ballantyne 422. All this continues to move, and if you notice of how it's moving, and I'm going to get rid of all this right now, it is moving very quickly, and 60 mile an hour wind gusts, likely. A lot of lightning, you'll hear it. I mean, a lot of thunder, you'll hear it. A lot of rainfall, you'll hear it. Hail, this is what we're looking at hail right now. On the back end of it, it's showing hail right over 378, this is Columbia Highway in Saluda, 0.3, so we could easily get up to quarter size hail. Let me move down into southern Lexington County. Folks, I cannot stress this anymore. If you live in central Lexington County, and if you've got a vehicle or anything that's outside, bring it inside right now, because this hail is showing 1.3 inch hail. That 1.3 inch hail, if it gets any bigger, we're talking anywhere from a tennis ball size hail to as small as a 1/4 inch size hail. And this is the concern that we have of why we have that other severe thunderstorm warning. Again, let's go a broad picture of what we got right now, because there's a lot going on. I want to make sure that everybody is aware of what we have. National Weather Service continues a tornado watch. This is a watch for all of the Midlands until 7 o'clock. Current storms we have right now that are active, and I'm going to get that right here, is in the central portions of the Midlands. These are all the severe thunderstorm warnings we've already gone through. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning that has popped out, and this now covers portions of Kershaw, Lower Richland, and Sumter counties. We have a new severe thunderstorm warning in effect for the East Central Midlands. So let me pull the information here, if you give me just 1 second. Okay, this is the new warning we have right now. The National Weather Service is indicating that this storm is about 11 miles to the northeast of McIntyre, moving east at 25 miles an hour. So here's the cell, and that has continued to move. And as you see, there's a lot of lightning involved in that. So this is the new severe thunderstorm warning we have, and this continues to move at 25 miles an hour. So this is a storm right now. Be aware that this has the history already of producing possible hail, 60-mile-an-hour winds, and a lot of lightning. Go back into the final picture of what we have again. At this point right now, the only watches we have continued is the severe tornado watch. This covers all of our Midland communities until 7 p.m. At this time right now, the only warnings we have are severe thunderstorm warnings, and this covers a good area of Newberry, Saluda, Lexington, Upper Richland, Lower Richland, extreme southern Kershaw, and as well as northwestern Sumter counties. These are the storms we're going to be watching carefully. If you have not done so yet, I would strongly suggest that you go ahead and download the News 19 weather app, both on your Android as well as on your Apple phone, and we'll be watching these storms very carefully as they continue to move. Any other tornado warnings or updates we have, we will let you know both here on News 19 on air as well as on our Facebook page. For now, we'll return you back to a regular scheduled program, and we'll see you back here for Friends at 5.